Tonight, we bring you fantastic tales from the Bridgewater Triangle. Now, a word from our sponsor. Start your day with a Johnny-O, just like Albie and Bud.
Hey, Bud, what kind of smoke you got there?
Say, Albie, it's a Johnny-O. Best darn smoke I ever had. Here, have one.
Thanks. Wow, that is a great smoke. These Johnny-O's make me feel great. Like I can do anything.
You too, huh? It's how I love to start my day. Light up a Johnny-O and watch me go.
Yes, look at Bud go. Remember, start your day with a Johnny-O, the cigarette that makes America go. And now, fantastic tales from the Bridgewater Triangle. Tonight's episode, Battle of the Hockomock Swamp Creatures, Part 1.
"20,000 years ago, glaciers carved out what we now call the Hockomock Swamp, a place of mystery and legends. In their centuries-long journey from the Great White North, the glacial ice not only carried huge amounts of debris, soil, and boulders, but also an unspeakable horror. According to legend, a strange being, frozen in the ice, was carried southward and deposited in the swamp. Long feared by the native tribes of the Arctic and Canada, the creature found a new home in the Hockomock Swamp, terrorizing the native population for eons, the settlers from the Old World, and until this very day. On a 20,000-year killing spree, the horror continues into the 21st century, as the creature's thirst for human blood sustains its immortal quest for death and destruction. What or who can stop it? Deputy Homer Stones, a local lawman, gets a visit from Boy Scout leader Marvin Dudley.
Scoutmaster Marvin Dudley. Rumors are swirling all over town that you and your son, Marvin Jr., are combing the Hockomock Swamp for your wife Cassie. Why isn't that other son of yours, Dale Dudley, helping you? Too busy on a crime spree?
Don't mention Cassie, Homer. You and that fraud squad of the law haven't come up with a single clue since she disappeared 3 months ago.
You might be right, Marvin. You might be right. Except you're not. Don't tell me how to run this town, or I'll use Dale's wooden head as kindling for my fire of justice.
Wooden head? I came in to report a creature in the swamp. I also saw that maniac, Professor Goodrich, and his henchmen out there, too.
No, I don't think so, Marvin. This department gets lots of calls about monsters, giant snakes, and even a winged weirdo flying high over the swamp. No time for such nonsense. As you know, we are too busy protecting decent folk.
Homer, we saw a creature on 2 legs. It was human, yet not. More reptilian, and it was in great pain. It had been attacked. Then we heard another thing, wailing out in the swamp. A mournful sound. An unholy cry that made my hair stand on end.
Take it easy there, Marvin. Take it slow. You probably got a taste of some moonshine. You know the Rodriguez brothers have a still somewhere in that swamp. Bad liquor. Heard one swallow of the stuff can have a man howling at the moon.
That thing was no man, Homer.
Oh, those Rodriguez brothers always up to some tricks out there in the swamps. One day this slick Mick will find those rummies and haul their wooden heads in for kindling.
Never mind your so-called fire of justice, Stones. Just send someone out there to investigate. There's something awful strange going on in that swamp.
Deep in the swamp, in the hidden laboratory of the sinister Professor Goodrich, a mutilated, lifeless body lies sprawled on the floor. Professor Goodrich and Angel look upon it with a deep sadness. Angel, something is destroying my creations. My children of the swamp are being slaughtered. 5 beautiful mutants, gone, gone, gone! I never should have released them without training them to kill! Yes, Master. Professor Goodrich holds his head in anguish. He is angry, twisted, and crazed-looking. He pauses, and it dawns on him that perhaps the curse, the legendary creature, is real after all. The stories, the legends, from the Ice Age even until now, it is true. But we shall have our revenge. I have 1 mutant left, and unlike the others, she will be taught to kill. Angel, we must have fresh victims for my work to continue. I must build an army of super creatures who will join forces together. Together, we will destroy the blasted swamp man. Angel, who reveres the professor, nods his head slowly. Professor Goodrich picks up the telephone. Hello, Deputy Stones. I believe your services are required. Deputy Stones phones Dale Dudley of the Bridgewater Swamp Boys, local dropouts who investigate paranormal phenomena throughout the area.
Hello, Dud. There's a disturbance in the swamp. Need you to investigate. That's right. Swamp creature sightings by the old Sinclair place. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. No guns. Just investigate and report your findings to me. Now look, Dud. Don't get smart-mouthed with me. I told you I'd give you a lead, and now you got to hold your end. If you don't, something unfortunate could happen to the Bridgewater Swamp Boys. Like jail. Okay, Dud. Have it your way. A lot of folks regretted not playing ball with old Homer Stones. Just remember, nobody messes with this here cat.
Dale Dudley and his Bridgewater Swamp Boys, stacking crabs, are on a woodland path leading to the old Sinclair house. They are armed and reckless.
To hell with Deputy Stones. Nobody pushes the Swamp Boys around. Right, Dud?
You said it, Stack. Hey, remember, if you see the Swamp Man, shoot first and ask questions later. You too, Crabs.
I'll blow him to kingdom come, Dud. The Swamp Man will wish he never met the Swamp Boys.
Yo, Stack, Crabs, who's that man up ahead?
Greetings, gentlemen. Such a lovely day for a stroll.
Hey, Daddy-O, what gives?
Yeah, creep. Better not muscle in. We own this swamp.
You boys are excellent specimens. Indeed, most excellent. Young, fit men. And with a mean streak, too. Yes, a quality missing in the others, I must say.
Hey, Dud, I don't like the way this old fossil is looking at us.
Yeah, the last time an egghead like you crossed us, he got his bones rattled.
Relax, fellas. Let this gentleman have his say. We'll let you off easy, sir, if you answer a few questions. Like, have you seen the Swamp Man?
No, not as yet. However, I believe that together, under my leadership, we can find this swamp creature, find him, and destroy him.
No dice, mister. We find him, we kill him, we get the glory. Understand?
Dud, I told you this guy's a creep.
Let's stop wasting time. Give him the works.
Say your prayers, old man!
Young man, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Professor Goodrich, and I have an extraordinary proposal for you. If you join forces with me, I guarantee a new life for you. A life until now you could only dream of. You see, I am desperate to stop this swamp creature. Now, what would it take for you to see things my way?
How about some dough? This is one bad swamp man. We value our hides for a lot more than you got, Professor. Ha! We'll find him for 3, and catch him, and waste him for 10.
Yeah, 10,000 clams to be exact.
Here's some pocket money for you now. Think of it as a down payment. There'll be plenty more after the job is done.
Wow, $500 each. The swamp boys strike again.
Hey, Stack, I think we found ourselves a new partner. What do you say, Crabs?
Yeah, now that we are rich, let's take Professor Goody here to the Salty Tavern, grab some brews, maybe play a little billiards.
A most excellent idea. But first, now that we are comrades, let us take a brief respite to pause, to enjoy a ceremonial smoke, to honor our partnership. These are of the finest Alexandrian tobacco.
Hey, what kind of smokes are these? Weird looking.
Say, my mom used to smoke these. In fact, I think she got them from you, Professor. I know I heard of you. She used to clean that big old house you live in.
Indeed. Cassie Dudley was what you might say, a favorite of mine. Indeed, she was.
Thanks, Professor. You're all right. Look at us, Dud. We're living like kings. Kings of the swamp.
They all light up and enjoy their smokes. A minute of quiet solitude, and then the boys notice something isn't quite right.
Hey, I'm feeling funny. I'm scared, Dud.
Crabs, you okay? Stack, how about you?
Yeah, I'm seeing double, Dud. Hey, old man. What gives?
Stack suddenly staggers forwards, then falls to the ground with a sickening thud. The boys, now gripped with fear, know something is terribly wrong. Crab's legs give out, and he too collapses in a heap, unconscious. Dale struggles to stay awake, realizing what really happened to his mother.
Those smokes! It was you, Goodrich! You and that Deputy Stones! What did you do to my mother? We've been double-crossed! I'll get you and that Deputy Stones if it's the last thing I do!
The last thing Dale Dudley hears before he went under was Professor Goodrich laugh as loud as thunder. Angel emerges from the swamp and stands next to the professor. Both look down at the boys. It would seem our new associates have agreed to join us in our research, Angel. Carry them back to the house. In the meantime, I will make preparations in the laboratory for their transformation. Angel wraps the boys up in a large duffel bag and with great strength throws the human heap over his shoulder. Shortly before nightfall, a young couple walk on a trail in the Hockomock Swamp, a mere 100 feet from the safety of a well-traveled street.
I can see the streetlight, Marcy. The walk is over.
Thank goodness, Jim. The bugs are biting. Jim, did you hear that?
Yeah, someone is out there. Rustling around, trying to scare us. A couple of pranksters.
Jim, it doesn't sound human to me.
See, darling. Start walking faster.
Oh my! I see! It's horrible!
Great Caesar's ghost! Run, Marcy! Run!
At the Salty Tavern, a dried-up watering hole from a bygone era, Marvin Dudley, deep in thought, quietly drinks a beer when Deputy Stones joins him.
Chester, give me a carling and be quick about it. How are you, Marvin?
Good, until you came in, Homer. Say, what did you find in that swamp?
Nothing like a cold, frosty brew dog to take the edge off of a long, hard day.
Ah, Day, I asked you a question, fat boy. What's in the swamp?
Your tone is a bit harsh there, Marvin. Show some respect. Chester, get Mr. Scoutmaster another brew dog on me.
You don't deserve respect, Homer. You're always on the take. You never miss a trick to line your pockets by fleecing decent citizens in this town.
Those are some pretty outrageous claims there, Marvin. You can't prove nothing on old Homer Stones.
You'll get yours, Stones. Your best friends are cutthroats. You know the old saying, Deputy, no honor among thieves.
Speaking of thieves, Marvin, perhaps you should do a little inventory on that no-good son of yours. Rumors are that he hasn't been seen since him and his swamp boys went hunting for your monster. Perhaps you ought to play ball with Homer Stones. Maybe I can send a search party.
You stay away from Dale, you hear me? Ever since his mother disappeared in the swamp, he hasn't been right.
That's another thing, Marvin. Why do you take those scouts and Marvin Jr. out in that hellhole? Your wife Cassie disappears in the swamp, and you take your young son out into the murky depths of that place. Sounds weird to old Homer Stones.
Look, Stones, I've had enough of you. Dale, Marvin Jr., and I believe Cassie could still be out there, alive.
Marvin, it has been 3 months. We've searched everywhere.
I've got 3 things to say to you, Stones. 1, stay away from Dale. 2, I know my wife Cassie is alive. And 3, I'm going to the swamp and pay a visit with Professor Goodrich. I have a feeling you and him are responsible for her disappearance. I'm gonna nail you.
Chester, get me another beer. I think I'll be sitting here a while. Yes, sirree. Just let things take their course. The professor and that goon of his, Angel, will take care of Marvin Dudley.
The professor and Angel are in the laboratory and quite pleased with their progress.
Another few hours, and the 3 young men will transform into children of the swamp. Fearless, 5 times the strength of a man, and completely mutated into reptilian men. under my control, ready to do my bidding.
Nodding to the professor, Angel grunts.
Yes, Angel, I will turn them over to you. You will train them to be efficient, deadly killers without remorse. Do you understand? Then we will release them into the Hockomock Swamp to seek out and destroy the nefarious Swamp Man. And there, together, along with our lone female mutant, they will crush him underfoot like a bug. Angel, you and I and our creations will be unstoppable.
Professor Goodrich's laughter suddenly ceases as a low wail seems to emanate from the murky, foggy vat, where the boys are transforming from humans to reptilian horrors. How curious. One of the mutants, I believe it is the Dudley boy, it has not yet quite let go of its humanity. It speaks in reptilian tongue, yet can form human sounds. Fascinating. Down in the basement, a she creature resting in her aquatic tank responds to the pleas from the tortured reptilian human young man with a heart-wrenching moan. Angel,
The female beast in the basement, Cassie Dudley. She cries to her son in the same tongue. This development is most unexpected. Most unexpected indeed.
This concludes our program for tonight. Be sure to tune in next week for part 2 of Fantastic Tales from the Bridgewater Triangle.